Hey, Divine Ones, it's LATOYA, your life coach and your motivational speaker. And if you are new to the podcast, if you are new to the YouTube channel, I am a mindset and purpose coach, and I help women to transform their lives by discovering their purpose, by finding their gifts, and by reprogramming their mindset for success in life, business, and relationships, and helping them to activate beast mode, baby, getting their purpose, getting their gifts, and live a life that is pleasing unto God. So if that sound like something you might be interested in, I want you to make sure you follow the podcast, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast, to the YouTube channel, so that you can get these messages, okay? Because I came to motivate, I came to uplift, I came to educate, I come to inspire the people of God to get up, okay? And to just get up from your situation and move forward. So on this episode of the podcast, y'all got me on the podcast today because I'm not camera ready today. So yeah, I'm pulling out the audio today on y'all. Okay, so, and it's not going to be very long neither. This is going to be just a real quick something, just a little quick drive-by I'm going to pull on y'all today. Come out, shoot you with this little message, and then pull off. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about today is know who you are. You got to know who you are. And I was saying this on a live that I did on Facebook, and it's also on the YouTube channel because all my Facebook lives are also on my YouTube channel. But know who you are, baby. Because let me tell you, the enemy, he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And he ain't just stealing physical things. He's robbing you of those internal things too, like your identity. He wants to take your identity away from you. He wants to steal your identity. It's so many people that's walking around here and they don't know who they are. They don't know whose they are. They don't know who they belong to. And let me tell you, when you don't know who you are, and you don't know that you belong to God, that you have a origin, that you have a place that you came from, if you don't know that within your spirit, within your soul, you'll be just bouncing around out here. Because let me tell y'all, I bounced around from, in my last marriage, from relationship to relationship, just bouncing around because I did not know who I was. And I was seeking my identity. I was seeking my happiness. I was seeking my peace from people. From the relationship that I was in, or from the marriage that I was in, or, I would say, had my mama not done this or done that, or had my daddy been there, or had my daddy did this or did that. And then I had to go to the woman in the mirror, and I had to face the truth, and I had to go to God, and I had to stop blaming everybody else for my situation, stop blaming everybody else for, things that I did, that I chose to make those decisions. And I had to, accept my wrong, which is what a lot of people still struggling with doing. I know because I struggled with that for a long time. I could tell everybody else where they was wrong at, but I couldn't seem to see where I was wrong at. And so through my period of isolation that I went through with God, God showed me some things about myself, and I didn't like what I was seeing. And so I changed it. And so I want to tell you today that if there are some things in you, there's some behaviors, there's some, some personality traits, some character traits that you have that you don't like, you can change it. You don't have to keep telling yourself that lie saying, well, this is who I am, and they just going to have to accept me for who I'm is, and this is who I am. That is not who you are. That is not who you are. That is who you have been conditioned to be. And that's why the Bible says, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed. Come on now. You got to be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that by testing you may prove, you will be able to discern what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So many people say, Toya, I don't know my purpose. How do I find my purpose? Well, you know what? I can go through the whole process of helping you to find your purpose, to discover your purpose. But that thing ain't going to really stick with you until you go through that period of isolation with God, because God is the one that gave you the purpose. He is the one that created you. He is the manufacturer. And don't nobody know the product better than the manufacturer. He knows all of your parts. He knows things about you that you don't even know about yourself. And understand this, because I see and I hear a lot of people that want to go to the prophet. Listen, don't always try to run. It's okay to get a prophecy sometimes, but don't always try to run to the prophet to get the prophet to tell you this or tell you that, because see, that's the shortcuts. I said what I said. That's the shortcut. People don't want to go through a process. People don't want to do any work. Most people don't want to do that real hard work that it takes. And it's not necessarily physical backbreaking work, but it's just that internal work that you got to sit down and do. A lot of people try to avoid that. So they look for the prophet to just give them a message or give them, tell me, what did God say about me? Why? When you can sit down for yourself and get to know God for yourself and let him show you the gifts that he's placed on the inside of you. See, that's why a lot of people don't really get with me like that, because I ain't into them quick fixes. Let me tell you now, I ain't into them quick fixes because you don't grow like that. You don't grow like that. You got to put yourself in an environment where you can grow. You got to put yourself in an environment that's conducive to your growth, that's going to get you to your next level. If you always looking for somebody to throw you a fish, come on now, you're going to always be looking for that. But see, I want to teach you how to fish. I want to teach you how to fish. And what did the proverb say? I think, what was that? I think it was a Chinese proverb or African proverb that says that if you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for a day. I'm sorry, if you give him a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for the rest of his life. And so that's what I want to do for you. I want to teach you how to fish. I don't want to just give you a fish. And so all of this ties into knowing who you are. You have to know your origin. You have to know who is your creator. You have to know who made you. You have to know where you came from. And then you have to go to him so that he can reveal all of these things to you. And it may not come overnight. It may not come in a week. It may take you sitting down with God for a season until he reveals it unto you. But you got to put yourself in the right environment. You got to put your mind, your spirit in the right posture so that you will be able to hear God, because he's speaking. But we just have so many things going on around us that we just can't seem to hear him. But he's speaking. Understand that just because you can't hear him doesn't mean he's not speaking. So when you don't hear God, don't question God like, God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why have you left me? Why are you not, answering my prayers? No, if you can't hear God, then you need to examine where you are. Come on now. That's a journal note right there. If you can't hear God, it ain't nothing wrong with God. He said, my arms are not short that I cannot save you. He said, neither are my ears deaf that I cannot hear you. In other words, God say, if you can't hear me, it ain't because I'm not speaking. It ain't nothing wrong with me. You are not in the right position and you are not in the right posture. You're not in the right environment. You may be still be sitting in the seat with the ungodly. You may still be sitting under ungodly counsel. So because they're counseling you, they're saying things to you, they're, having conversations with you, they talking in your ear, you listening to the radio, you listening to the TV, you listening to all these things. You can't hear God. All that stuff drowns out the voice of God. So that's what I mean when I say a season of isolation. That's what you got to go through to know who you are. And I'm not talking about who you are in the physical. I'm not talking about this person that's looking back at you in the mirror. I'm not talking about your reflection. I'm not even talking about your brain or your mind. I ain't even talking about that, because you are not even your mind. You're not your mind. You're not your thoughts. You're not your body. You're not any of that. You are the consciousness that is behind all of that. I'm talking about who is looking through these eyeballs. That's what I'm talking about. Who hears, who is listening to this voice that's speaking right now. Who is looking out from behind them eyeballs? That's who I'm talking to. That's who you really are. You got to know who you really are. You got to find the I am that's on the inside of you. And when I say the I am that's on the inside of you, I mean the presence of God, because there is a presence that is within you. I don't care how much alcohol you drink. Listen to me. I don't care how high you get, how low you get. I don't care where you find yourself in the world. I don't care if you go to the bottom of the ocean. I don't care if you go in the pits of hell. I don't care where you go. There is a presence that is on the inside of you, and that is where God is. And it's in every man, because he is his stamp. It's like his stamp. It's like his seal. It's like his logo. Y'all know how a manufacturer will make a product, and they ain't finna just make that product and just throw it out there amongst every other product. But what they gonna do before they send it out, they gonna put their stamp on it. Come on now. They put their logo on it. They put that apple up there. Come on now. They put that emblem up there. They're going to put that stamp up there. So no matter where that product ends up in the world, no matter where it ends up on the planet, when somebody see that product, they know, okay, that's Apple. Okay, that's Nike. You know what I'm saying? So whoever the manufacturer is, but your manufacturer is God. And God put a stamp on the inside of you. He put a seal on the inside of you. And that is where you really are. That's who you really are. It's not this sickness. Many of you that are listening to this episode, you're sick in your bodies. That sickness does not determine who you are. Many of you, you've been mistreated. You've been talked about. You've been lied on. People have mishandled you. People have done just unimaginable things to you. Many of you've gone through many things that you can't even speak about. A lot of these things that you've gone through, you got to take these things to your grave. I want to tell you that I don't care how strong that pain is. I don't care how deep that pain runs. I don't care how deep that wound is that they cut you. I don't care how deep the pain is. That's not who you are. And that is of no reflection of who you are. I'm talking to the I am. I'm talking to the God that's on the inside of you. That's who you really are. And when you know from that place, not from your mind, but it's a feeling that you have. It is a feeling of just you, the feeling of being you. And I'm going to tell y'all, I discovered that feeling through meditation. I had to start practicing meditation in order to discover who I really was. Because meditation is not dealing with all this stuff on the outside. See, we a physical world. We got to see it to believe it. But see, you got to learn how to go within. See, with God say, I know the world tell you that you got to see it in order to believe it. But he said, when you come into my kingdom, he said, you got to believe it in order to see it. Come on now. You got to believe this thing. And what is faith? The Bible says, what is faith? What is faith? Now faith is the substance. See, that let me know you got to go beneath the surface. You got to go deep with this thing. This can't be no surface level faith. This can't be no surface level anointing, but this thing got to be deep. You got to know deep down in your spirit and in your soul who you are. Because let me tell you something, like the Bible say, faith is the substance of things that are hoped for, and it is the evidence of things that are not seen. Many times you are not going to be able to see your way. Listen to me. You're not going to be able to see your way. You're not going to be able to know your next move. A lot of times you in the dark. You blind out here. You got blindfolds on trying to figure out what's my next move, what I need to do, where God at. I don't see him. See, that's where your faith got to come in at, baby. Come on now. That's where that faith come in at. Faith say, I don't see him, but I know he moving in my situation. Faith say, I can't feel him, but I know God is somewhere in the midst because his word told me that he would never leave me nor forsake me. Come on now. That's how you got to talk to yourself. You got to encourage yourself. You got to uplift yourself. You got to inspire yourself. And when you can't do it, you got to come to these episodes right here and let me do it for you, baby. Come on now. But you got to do something because you got to know who you are and you got to stay motivated because the devil coming to kill. He coming to steal. He coming to destroy everything that you done worked so hard to build all these years. The devil want to come and destroy it, baby. But you can't let him. Do you hear me? You got to know who you are, baby, because when you know who you are, it don't matter what no devil in hell say. It don't matter what they call you. It don't matter what they try to do to you. It don't matter when they try to get you fired off that job because you know that God will take care of his own. Come on now. The Holy Spirit done showed up on this episode, baby. God said, you got to understand that I know those that are mine. Let the enemy do what he think he doing to you. But God said, you can't be. He said, there's a part of you that can't be touched. That's the I am that's in you. That's who you really is. That's why I say you got to know who you are. Oh, because when you know who you are, baby, you understand that I don't care how you try to lay hands on me. I don't care how much you call me out of my name. You can't mess with the I am that's on the inside of me. Somebody say it's the I am for me. Come on now. It's the I am for me. I don't know about you, devil. And y'all heard what I was saying on my Facebook Live, baby. If the devil get froggy, tell him to go on and leap. Because I wish a devil would. When you know who you are, you can walk with that confidence. Come on now. You can walk with that boldness. You know who you is, and you ain't scared of no devil in hell. Tell the enemy, I wish a devil would. I wish you would. I'm from the South, baby. That's how we talk when somebody act like they want to jump on us. We tell them, baby, I wish you would. You feel froggy, you better leap. I wish you would. Come on, you bad. You bad. And then we'll tell them, oh, you go for bad, don't you? Oh, yeah, baby, you know she go for bad. I'm ready for her. Tell her, come on, I wish she would. Okay, and then God said you got to keep that same mentality when you come over to the kingdom. Don't lay your weapon down. You still got to keep your weapons. You still fighting, but now you're fighting on God's side. Now you're fighting in the kingdom. You ain't fighting for the devil no more. You ain't on his side. Now you done switched over and you on God's side. And now you got to fight every day, baby. You got to fight to be happy. You got to fight to be blessed. You got to fight to be prosperous, because the enemy ain't going to let you just slide in the promised land. Every day you get up, you got to fight for your business to be successful. Do you know how many odds are against your business being successful? And when you find out the odds, don't let that turn you into bitter. Don't let that turn you into not believing in God and who he is. You got to let that activate the dog in you. You got to let that activate that beast that's on the inside of you. Because when I found out that 82%, y'all listen to me. When I found out that 82% of coaching businesses fail within the first 2 years, I didn't let that discourage me. I told God, I said, well, God, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that I'm in the 18% that make it. Come on now. You got to know and you got to understand that with God, all things are possible. But he said, it is done for you according to your faith. Don't you worry about what man say. Let man write his statistics. Man's statistics ain't got nothing to do with what God said. God said, I told you that you're going to be a lender and not a borrower. I told you that you're the head and not the tail. I told you that you're more than a conqueror. God said, didn't I tell you that? He said, didn't I tell you that greater is he that is in you than he that's out there in the world? So why are you worried about them folks? Let them write their statistics. Come on now. Come on now. Let them write their statistics. Statistics say that the chances are that one of my sons will end up in prison. But let man keep writing his statistics, because I know what God told me. I know what God showed me. See, you got to know who you are, and you got to know who you belong to. And when you know who you are and you know who you belong to, ain't nothing, nobody in this earth realm that can say or do that can shake you. Glory be to God. I love y'all so much. I got to go. Y'all replay this a couple times and let that thing get all up and through your spirit. Do you hear me? Let it marinate in now. Let it get all up and through your spirit. If you ain't subscribed to the podcast or the YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do that. Go on, click that little subscribe button, baby. Click the bell too. Okay, click the bell too, so you can get your notifications. Cause I'm gonna get something out to y'all every day. Listen, even if I don't get the video out to y'all, I'm a run to this mic and I'm gonna get this podcast episode out to y'all. Okay. So even if you ain't gonna get no video, just know on the days you're not gonna get a video, you're gonna get a podcast episode too. So that's gonna be on the podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's on Spotify. You can listen to it on iHeartRadio. You can listen to it on Google Podcasts. It's everywhere where podcasts are played. And it's also as a video on my YouTube channel. Okay. So I love y'all so much. Listen, make sure you click the link in the show notes of this podcast. Click the link in the description of this video on YouTube and set up a discovery call with me today. We do a 15-minute quick call just to, assess your situation and see where you are. If you are a woman that is struggling to discover your purpose, you ready to find your purpose, you tired of playing around, you ready to get in purpose, you ready to get into your gifts, and you ready to transform your life by the renewing of your mind, then my coaching is for you. And I want you to set up a free 15-minute discovery call with me so we can just get on the phone and, I can just give you more information about what I offer. So I love y'all so much. I am LATOYA Okia, your mindset and purpose coach. Y'all know what I always tell y'all, baby. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. With God, all things are possible. I told y'all with God, see, man say you got to see it in order to believe it. But God say you got to believe it in order to see it. Okay. So I love y'all and I'll check in with y'all later. Y'all be blessed.